said the hip, hop, the hip it to the hip, hip hop.
Coming up on College Football Final, the biggest star in the sport, Johnny Football, taking on the game's preeminent coach and dynasty. Surely Manziel in Alabama couldn't live up to the hype, but it did, Lou. It did.
And there were some great games, but unfortunately, Texas wasn't involved in one of them, because they had a long, disastrous night.
Last year, UCLA beat Nebraska. This week, Bo Pelini, Nebraska's head coach, told his team, we owe the Bruins. In the lounge tonight, we're going to find out if Nebraska paid up.
Anything can happen. This is college football. Some of the craziest things happen every week. So all we can do is take care of ourselves, take care of what's in this locker room, continue to get better as a team.
I tell you what, Manziel is not going to find many teams that can slow down the passing attack with Mike Evans. But on the other hand, Alabama up front was particularly stout. They averaged over 6 yards per carry when they ran the ball. A.J. McCarron barely got any pressure at all. They seemed to control the play in the line of scrimmage, Lou.
Oh, very much so. And this is the offensive line that caused so much static because he was hurried 11 times the week before against Virginia Tech. They gave great protection, but they also controlled the line. Let's watch it here as you come out. You just see the open hole. Look at this. The body position, the hand position they have. The whole. I'm an old man. I could have run through there for 7 yards. I could have gone as far as he did. But not only that, they have some great block. Eric Kawanjo and Ryan Kelly pull out, and the block they get. Face in. Look at the blocking downfield. They just did a tremendous job, and what was particularly gratified, they had received so much criticism from their last game.
You know, Alabama came out, fell behind 14-0. That was one of the reasons that they threw the ball a lot early, didn't run it much, but after they loosened A&M up, they were able to throw and run with ease. They only had 6 third-down plays the whole day, and pretty much everything A.J. McCarron did, particularly in play action, was outstanding. Now, yards per attempt is a great stat to measure how effective you are overall in your passing game. Against Virginia Tech, not very good. Saturday against A&M, excellent. In fact, Aggie defensive coordinator Mark Snyder, after the game, told Alabama defensive coordinator Kirby Smart, tell A.J. he played a great game. And they put a lot of the running game on him. They let him make the check. They let him suggest the plays. But you said after Virginia Tech, the problems were correctable for Alabama's offensive line. What did they do to correct it?
Well, they worked hard. And offensive line coach Mario Cristobal, kudos. What he did is he made the corrections, the right corrections. The offensive line did a fabulous job of coming off the line of scrimmage. They had communication, which they didn't have against Virginia Tech. This is the improvement over against Virginia Tech. Look at the rushing yard per carry. 6.3 versus 2.5. Terrific plays by the offensive line, but what I saw in this game, they had confidence. Not only the communication, they had confidence up front, and it built during the game because they were determined to get the job done, and they were flawless at the point.
Head-to-head, Alabama wins at 49-42. Back to College Station now. Chris Fowler, Nick Saban.
The head coach in you loves the escape in a tough environment, being 2-0. The defensive guy in you has to be glad you're never going to see Johnny Manziel again, probably. I mean, he accounts for 562 yards. You had 9 months to get ready to stop him. It didn't exactly work like you planned.
Well, you know, you got to execute, and we didn't match up very well with the big guy, Evans. I mean, he just killed us all day long with the big plays, and we felt like we had to play a lot of single coverage on the outside, try to rush guys on Johnny so he couldn't run around all day and make a lot of plays, which he did anyway. But we just gave up far too many big plays, you know, to the outside people. So, but it was a great team win for us. This is a great college atmosphere. They have a great team. They have a great offensive team, and they're going to score a lot of points on a lot of people. Now, I wish we played better. All right, I'll be the first one to say that. We made our share of mistakes. But I'm also really proud of the way our offense played today and controlled the line of scrimmage, answered the bell every time we needed to. When they scored, we always came back and scored, so they never had the ball and us only be ahead by 7 points.
Stylistically, A.J. McCarron's very different from Manziel, not quite as dynamic, but what does he do for your offense in a game like this on the road?
Well, you know, first of all, the guy played fantastic today. He always got us in the right play. A lot of those plays were checked with me's on the runs. Did a great job of throwing the ball. Our offensive line did a good job of helping him, which is not what happened in the last game. So, you know, A.J. played a fantastic game. He did a great job from a leadership standpoint for our team today. Scoring the last touchdown, And when we were down 14-0, I thought he showed a lot of leadership to get everybody pointed in the right direction.
You haven't yet played a home game. You've beaten 2 quality teams. You haven't really played a complete game, offense, defense together.
I'm paid for it this
What does
morning.
that say about what this team's capable
Last
of?
night. Time went on. An extra pack of smokes,
We're going
please.
to continue to improve. You know, we played one game and we played pretty well in defense. Played the next game, we played really well on offense. So we just have to continue to improve, and we need to get more players to play winning football on a consistent basis. So it's a work in progress, and this was one game. I know you all tried to make it the game of the century, but it was one game, and we have to improve because we have 10 more games, and we got to play them one game at a time.
Unlikely you'll see Johnny Manziel again on the field. What's your reaction never having to face him again?
It won't bother me any. We've had 2 games that's probably taken 20 years off my life. I ain't playing against him. So, you know, he's a great player and a great competitor. And they do a great job with their offense. And they keep you spread out. You have to show what you're doing. And he knows exactly what to do to take advantage of it. So, you know, my hat's off to their team who did a great job today. And Johnny did a great job as well.
Leave you with a trivia question. He tried to do something that nobody has done against your teams. Win as a starting quarterback in back-to-back years since. You know the last guy to do it in college? Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
That's a long time. A few jobs
just
ago.
didn't give me long enough to think about it. That was our nemesis at Michigan State.
Well, you beat your nemesis here today. And thanks for your time, Nick.
Good, thank you.
Rolling home
Boom
2-0.
to the hay, all you sports fans, or to you, the individual, as part of the collective out there in the two-ball sphere. Welcome to One Man Sports Rant. I am and always have been your host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Bro. We're talking the morning after college football. Hopefully all y'all out there woke up where you wanted to be. So it's like that. We abide by what's called the DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Covers a little death touch for you. Fair use standard, minimal use, and derivatives. This being a pro bono sports show, I definitely adhere to that. So all the video highlight credited to ESPN, everything else, the OMSR. Alright, so you see from my co-host here, as it's were, Kim Pak, named for 2 Korean grandmasters, my past and present. 1,300-year-old Buddha from Angkor Wat, our oracle to the sports gods. When we get more subs coming on board, asking some questions about like the really big games. Could have done that with what we're going to be talking about here, post-game reaction, Texas A&M, Alabama. He's 25-4. Yeah, 25-4. Ask him questions all the EJ. It's kind of fascinating, really, but we just don't have time for that in these fact-check highlights. Versions. All right, so just a reminder, if you want to get involved at the end of the show, vis-a-vis comments, great. No flip comments allowed. All right, keep it respectful to the show and to your fellow tubers. Oh, don't worry about this. It's just a, styrofoam movie prop from the Sinbad movies. All right. So going back to all I wanted to say in terms of OMSR commentary, listening to Nick Saban. Bo Pelini should be taking how do you be calm as a coach at all time lessons from Nick Saban. Dude's carrying on the sideline after he swore like it was 2 years ago or 1 year ago, and that's coming up. This is an expose all day in 5 parts. I'm going to do a show to address each part. But yeah, you got to love Nick Saban. His calm demeanor. Yeah, he could run for governor, like some of my subs have suggested. And by the way, you may have noticed I've got my, I'm Danny, a.k.a. the Count, impersonation going on. You don't know who I'm talking about? Where the heck you been, brother? Us car guys, we're good people. Roll clip.
We're going to California, and we're bringing this car to Ziggy. We're about 5 days from leaving. This car has to be there.
Yeah.
This car is literally representing Bob. Can you believe that? That we've been entrusted with representing Bob Marley with his last car. So, we don't have a choice. We've cleaned out the tank twice. We've cleaned out the lines. We are going to literally have to just turn the key and roll the dice. This is Vegas. It's time to gamble. Let's fire this car up and run it. Well, this is it. we're out of time. Even if we could find a new European gas tank for this car, there's no way in the world that we could get it in the car, installed, up and running before we make our deadline. Ain't gonna happen. I gotta trust that my guys have cleaned this gas tank out to absolute perfection so that when we fire this baby up, she runs smooth. Because if not, that means we have failed. And on a job this big, this important, failure, it's just not an option, man. This is Bob Marley's mistake.
So you can see, he's big time. Good people. Best reality show in history. By the way, I should probably give a shout out. You just saw Pi Kappa Alpha, U of U chapter Alpha Tau, House Sweethearts, giving you props. Alpha Tau. Chime in once in a while. I haven't heard from you since. PKA. Where the hell are you, fellow Pikes? Alright, reminding you, college football and sports in general, alcohol, they are joined to the hip. No silly DUIs while you're out there. Later days, more signature plays.